Welcome back. Before we dive into today's episode, Sophie, Ellen, and I want to talk about all things laundry. For those of you who don't know, Ellen and Sophie are sleep coaches on my team here at Sleep and Wellness Coach, and between the three of us, we have 7 kids between about 5 months and 12 years old, so we have a lot of laundry in our households. The topic of doing laundry recently came up during one of our team meetings, and we decided to save that conversation and have it with all of you. So, Sophie, I think you were the one who had brought up the topic of laundry when we were chatting. So, why don't you kick off this conversation?
Yeah, so ever since having June, my youngest, I've been getting crushed by laundry. And so I've started asking around to figure out, how does everybody else do laundry? Am I doing it wrong? So if you guys could just give a brief description of how you do laundry and if it works for you or not.
Well, mine doesn't work, so I'm happy to share what I do. But Ellen, I'm curious, do you have a process that works for you all?
I was gonna say mine also doesn't
Oh
work, but I
no.
feel like whose does, right? But we've been trying some different things. It is funny when we brought this topic up, I was thinking of the story. I sent my aunt a picture of my kids in the living room the other day, and like it was the one time that we had all our laundry folded, and she was like, "Wait, where like cute kids, but where's all the laundry? Like I'm starting to miss it. It looks weird without it." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." Like it's all on the couch. But if it doesn't stay on the couch, it doesn't ever get folded. So I'm like, it has to stay there. But Sophie, that the newborn stage I feel like is so hard because you're constantly going like younger, until 5 months, you're constantly going through things like there's so much laundry. At our stage, I feel like it's starting to get a little better because we can we're not getting super dirty yet. We're not old enough like into sports or anything where we're getting, super dirty so we can all wash together. I don't know if you guys have seen like Kylie Perkins. She's on social media. She's like a tough love, get up and get it done sort of person, like tries to inspire you to clean your house and do things. And she said, do laundry to the point where you barely have any laundry to do. So like trying to stay like so on top of it. And I was like, oh, that's helpful. So what we've currently been trying, and there's laundry on our couch right now, so I don't think it's not working, but what we've currently been trying is like at the beginning of the day, like we'll fold whatever's in the dryer. And then throughout the day, we'll be just like putting stuff in, like almost like forget that the hampers even exist. Like it goes right into the washing machine. And then before dinner, we'll start it with whatever there is. So then like if, like for my husband and I, we don't change multiple outfits throughout the day. So our stuff would just be thrown in the morning from the previous day. And then before we go to bed, we switch it to the dryer. And then in the morning, just do like a quick like air dry, refluff it so it's not super wrinkly. And then the goal is to fold it before the kids get up. But some, that works better some days than others. But when that's working, it seems good. But again, here we are with a pile of laundry on our couch that wasn't folded this morning. So it's not perfect.
I think that's so similar to the strategy my best friend Laura, who's been a guest on the podcast before, uses. And she legit does it. And she never has dirty laundry. And she does a load every single night. And I think she might do that where it just goes into the washer. Because I've been at her house where suddenly after dinner, I'm like, how'd everything get in the washer? And so I think she might also just throw it all in the washer and then she folds it right out of the dryer. And I have multiple times decided that's the method I'm going to use. But then as soon as I get 2 or 3 days behind and the laundry reaches a certain level that I can't fold it in a couple minutes out of the dryer, I have the issue that you're talking about, Ellen. But for us, it's on the guest room bed where the laundry just piles up. Now, the couch is probably smart because you see it. I just shut the door on the guest room. I did it yesterday. So my husband came home. He said, wow, the house is so clean. And the cleaning lady had been here. I said, yeah, but I didn't get to all that laundry. I just put it on the guest room bed. So we'll have to deal with that later. But when I'm on top of it daily, I do think it works. And it's funny you guys talk about the newborn stage because I kind of feel like I'm back into that mode of having an unimaginable amount of laundry because my kids wear their school uniform. They have gym clothes that they have to wear, change into a gym, and then they play sports or swim every day after school. So today they'll both have soccer and Ainsley will have basketball practice. And there's just so much laundry. Now, the good news about that is even their travel soccer team has a practice uniform, and I did not buy extras. So I am forced to wash multiple times a week. But I swear, if you don't do it every single day, if you get even 2 days worth built up, it seems like a lot to fold. So, Sophie, what have you been doing? And I'm also curious, did you get any other good advice when you've been asking people?
Yeah, I am a everyday laundry doer. So I do it every day. So it sounds like what you guys are talking about. One of the other moms I was talking to, she was a do all your laundry on Sunday type of laundry person. That to me was so different and I hadn't even considered it. So she just does it all in one day and they load it up on the couches and just all fold it together. I've lately started trying to rope Marlo into helping more. She's 5 now. So it's helpful. It's not the way I would do it, but at least like the folding, she's doing it. So that helps me. I don't have to put hers away. I'll just load it up in her room and have her fold and put it away. And it's not perfect, but I'm not doing it. So that has been helpful. And then I've been trying to get Rosie. She'll help me transfer. She likes to do that. So it's an activity for us. But I still feel like I can't keep up, even doing a load or 2 a day. And like you said, if I miss a day or 2, it takes a whole week to recover.
I know the folding. It's the fold and the putting away. Now that you mentioned the putting away, sometimes we'll get it all folded by individual baskets and then it sits folded in the basket. It sounds so ridiculous when you talk about it. Like, just put it away. But we will end up with a basket in each bedroom of folded laundry. And then you guys are definitely in the stage where they start to outgrow clothes. And if you aren't cleaning it out fast enough, the dresser is too full to put it away.
Yes.
Yep.
And keeping up with switching out the clothes. Yeah. That's funny you say like the folding and the putting away. Like on the couch right now, there's folded clothes that haven't been put away yet, and then a load of clothes that need folded. And right now in this time, it's so hard. Like Josie's napping a good amount of the day still. Dom takes a nap, and when they're both up together, they're not really at a great age where you can just like leave them be playing together and expect it to go well. So it's like once it is folded, when am I going to put it away? Like I can't even catch a break to get up there when they're not napping or something. So yeah, laundry sneaks up on you.
I do have my kids folding their laundry when it gets built up. So during the week, they just don't really have time. And if I'm doing it every day, I could kind of fold it quickly. But when it builds up on Saturday morning, if they're watching TV, I will say, you can watch TV if you fold your laundry. Now, Ainsley is a great multitasker, and I will come back 30 minutes later, and her little basket of laundry is folded, and Addison is still laser focused on the TV. She's like, wait, what? What? I can't. Nope, I didn't get that done. So even that's a little hit or miss. But Addison is a ridiculously good folder. She folds better than I do.
That's great. I'll hire her. She can come over here and fold.
Oh, that's another idea my husband has had. Can we hire someone to do the laundry? And I will share that there are a few moms in my neighborhood who have outsourced laundry where there's a service where you just put it outside your door, they pick it up, they bring it back folded. And it's actually not terribly expensive. I can't remember. It was over a year ago when we all talked about it. My issue with that is I have some anxiety about letting the laundry leave my house and then needing it. Like the way my kids need their clothes so frequently, that I was like, that gives me anxiety that it's going to be out of the house. I'd rather have my kids put on a dirty school uniform than have no uniform.
That's a good point.
So, but there are services. I know there's one here locally where parents are sending away the kids' laundry and it comes back folded, I don't know, a day or 2 later.
That's a good business idea.
I hadn't heard about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Not for us because we all struggle to keep up with our laundry, but for someone who's good at laundry, it's a great business idea.
Well, it's good to hear that I'm not the only one struggling, I guess, for this phase of parenthood.
I think it shows that you're doing the right method. That generally it is, while it's a drag, the every single day probably is the smoothest approach. So,
well, that's good to hear.
All right. Well, if any of you listening have good laundry tips for us, we would love to hear them because clearly we could all use a little advice. So hop on over to Instagram and share it in the comments of the post for this episode. And thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, on to today's episode. This one's a shorty episode, but it's about something that trips up so many parents, the dreaded car nap. You know the one. It's that 5-minute doze your baby takes on the way home from daycare or when you're coming home from the grocery store. If your baby or toddler is prone to falling asleep in the car, this episode is for you. Hi, I'm Allison Egidi, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of 2. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. On the surface, that quick car nap seems harmless, maybe even helpful, right? She's tired anyway, or at least he's getting a little rest. But here's the thing. Those tiny car snoozes can wreak havoc on your baby's naps. Let me explain why. When babies take even a very short nap, like a 5-minute cat nap in the car, or even just a 1-minute micro snooze, it can act like a mini reset. Think of it like plugging your phone in for a few minutes, which I actually just did this morning. It doesn't fully charge, but it gives it just enough of a boost that the battery is no longer in the red. Same thing for your baby's brain. That quick snooze takes the edge off their sleep pressure, just enough that when it's actually time for their typical nap, they don't have that strong biological drive to fall asleep anymore. And the result? You end up with a wide-eyed baby in the crib who seems tired but won't fall asleep. This is especially common with babies between 4 and 15 months, when they're still taking 2 or 3 naps a day, and their little bodies are really sensitive to both sleep timing and sleep pressure. So what can you do about it? If possible, try to plan errands around nap times to avoid that dreaded car nap. If we don't have them in the car at near the time they would fall asleep, it's going to be easier. But if your baby starts nodding off in the car, you can try singing, cracking a window open, or even recruiting an older sibling to help distract them. Of course, I say this all the time. Driving safely is always the most important. So sometimes those car naps are just gonna happen, and it is what it is. So when they do, how should you handle it? If it's close to your child's usual nap time and your baby is one of those rare nap unicorns who will stay asleep when you transfer them from the car into their crib, go for it. Get them in the crib and let them keep on sleeping to finish out that nap. But if your child is like most kids and wakes during the transfer, you've got a couple options. You can let them finish that nap in the car if you have the time to keep driving or to sit parked. Or you can wake them up and either try again right away in the crib if you're still in the nap window, or if you've tried that and you know that that car nap means that your child won't go back down for the nap, even though it's nap time, you're going to go ahead and forge ahead to their next typical nap time. And just as a reminder, once your child is about 5 months old, I recommend having consistent nap start times or windows rather than relying on wake times or wake windows. That structure helps babies regulate their rhythm and get back on track faster, even after a surprise car nap. So yes, that might mean that there is a much longer than usual wake window after a car snooze. but keeping them on their typical schedule will pay off in the long run because it will allow their body to reset. And I also just want to touch specifically on one of the most common times parents need to deal with a car nap, and that's the late day nap on the way home from daycare, usually sometime between 5 and 6 p.m. I encourage you to take that as a clear sign that your little one is worn out after a full day. And if they nod off, wake them up as soon as you get home, and then take it as your sign that you should aim for a normal or even early bedtime. Don't let that short, late afternoon or early evening snooze trick you into pushing out to a later bedtime, because that's probably not what they need. At the end of the day, we all have car nap casualties. It is just part of parenthood. But understanding why these car naps can mess with your child's overall napping, and then having a plan for how to navigate them makes it easier to get your baby back on track quickly. All right, that's it for today's shorty episode. If you found this helpful, send it to a friend who's ever lost a nap to the car seat. And if naps in general are a struggle and you'd like to connect with me or a sleep coach on my team to build a personalized nap plan, head over to www.sleepandwellnesscoach.com/packages and schedule your free 15-minute Get Acquainted call today. We'll link to that in the show notes as well. Cheers to mastering naps, and I will see you back here next time. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.